It is best known as the Eagle One, call it the NAF 001 or the Nigerian Air Force 001. Now, mostly it is the president that travels in this one. Call it the presidential jet. The president of Nigeria, Mr. or His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari. Some people could wonder how safe is he on his presidential jet? Just like any other president, they do have the enemies, they do have the people who are against them, but they need the protection. It's just a question. How safe is President Muhammadu Buhari on his presidential jet? I'm Dennis the Business, and this time round we are going to split. We're going to dismantle this Nigerian Air Force One, call it the Eagle One. You might be looking at it in the air, flying off the base and coming back into Lagos, Abuja, whatever airport it lands on. But you don't know the inside of President Muhammadu Buhari's presidential jet. How safe is President Buhari of Nigeria? Now, going forward, this is a guy who has lots of meetings. As you can see, that's a picture. He's heading straight with the salutations from the protection, the security, and one may wonder, will he reach safely? How safe is that plane? The family may wonder, the beautiful wife may wonder, the kids and the people who voted him into power, will he reach safely? No one knows tomorrow, no one knows today, no one knows the next minute. Now, here is the real evidence of how safe President Buhari of Nigeria is. Now, straightforward. As you can see, he will wave at you. All the waves, the smiles, to whichever country is into, and later on, he settles into the plane. Read some newspapers. Yeah, remember, this is just an aircraft. It's a machine that is controlled by someone, that someone can get paid to do anything that can cause Nigeria a lot of trouble, that can cause President Buhari's life and the entire family just to suffer. So, he's all smiles reading newspapers, and hey, the Nigerian force, Air Force, set off safely as the security watches. But what is this plane made of? First of all, let me take this off right here as I dismantle this plane for you. As you can see, its vertical fin area about 284.6 square feet. Then, most cases what brings trouble in the landing is the nose landing gear offset, which is about 13 feet 5 inches with the wheel base. Look at the airplane length right there. The fuselage length. Yeah, now I'm just looking at the basics of a particular plane because this is where the safety begins from. How shaped was it? How shaped is it? Right? As you can see right there, pictorial view of the real artistic measure of how shaped this plane is supposed to be. Look at that. That is the original. Yeah, that is the shape of that Nigerian Air Force. And look at that. So you get the picture now. Right, let's go forward. We are looking at President Muhammadu's safety. Now, as you can see this picture, he's seated next to the window. I want us to look at the window area of this Nigerian Air Force One, call it the Eagle One. As you can see, is at the window area. How safe is that place? Let's look at the pictorial view. Now, the window is shielded by the shrapnel from the engine blast. Just in case the engine goes off, how safe is the president? As you can see, this particular area right there, that's where he's seated. And you see that? He loves the window. And that is the window right there. And as you can see, the catastrophic failure of the CFM International, that is the turbofan. In most cases, the turbofan on the plane can go off. But The Nigerian president is seated just next to the Tabo area. You can see he has roles to do for the nation. Now, we are talking the Boeing 737 BBJ, call it the Eagle One, the presidential jets that Muhammadu Buhari travels in. Let's look at the dimensions still here. 737 airplane dimensions, as you can see, it's 12 feet 4 inches. Yeah, that is up front right there. Then it has about 28.65 meters, which is okay. When you look at the front, just down below your far right, there's 93 feet, which is about 28.35 meters. Then we look at the length as we looked at right here in the particular plane. Yeah, when you look at those dimensions, that's how the plane is shaped, and we're looking at it. I told you I'm dismantling the Boeing 737 BBJ, call it the Eagle One, call it President Muhammadu Buhari's presidential jets. Yep, we are dismantling it. How safe is it when it gets into this aircraft and the space over there? Yep, see, nose landing causes trouble, gear offsets cause trouble, also the fuselage could cause trouble. But as you can see here, the plane was shaped particularly for real VIP set. So in case you are wondering how safe your president is, he is really, really safe. Let's get to the interior. Anyway, before we go to the interior, I'd like to get for you some particulars here. Now, the Boeing 737 is a short to the medium range twin jets narrow body airliner, as you can see. Narrow body airliner, as you can see. And originally developed as a shorter, lower cost twin engine airliner derived from the 707. Yeah, the 737 has developed into a kind of a formula of the 10 passenger models with the capacities of 85 to 215 passengers. Anyway, the 737 is a Boeing of the narrowly body airliner in production, which also has the next generation of 700 and 800 to 900 ER, and the re-engined and the redesigned 737 MAX variants currently being built. Right? I told you we are dismantling President Buhari's 737 Eagle One, call it the Nigerian Air Force, or call it the NAF 001. Now, the role obviously is a business jet. Then its origin is it's made from the United States. The manufacturer is the Boeing. The Boeing commercial planes. First flight was during the April 9th, 1967. So which means long before these planes have been trusted. Yeah. Now, the primary users of these such planes are the Southwest Airlines, United Airlines, American Airlines. So which means President Buhari is flying American. Now, it was produced in 1966. Number built is 10,000. That is March 13, 2018. Unit cost is about 5.2 million US dollars. That was back in 1972. Then currently it's about 32 million US dollars. The variants are the Boeing T3 or T43, developed into the 737 Classic. Now, the 737 was a general version in 1964 still, and this series is the best-selling commercial jetliner in the history of all time. We're looking at the development, the design, right? The design right here of the plane, and how streamlined it is for the president to fly in, or any particular president, right here. Now, as of the 2006, there were an average of about 1,250 Boeing 737s airborne at any given time, with two either departing of the landing. Now, let's look at President Buhari's interior. As you can see, he has a mini office right there where he can write his summaries before he goes to make speeches anywhere in particular countries that he's been, he's been invited to. Now, most of you, the favorite part of the plane, I know for most of you, could be the cockpit. Let me bring it for you. How safe is that cockpit for the pilots flying President Muhammadu uh, Buhari? Now, this Boeing 737 was introduced in the 1990s with a redesigned increased span laminar flow, wing, upgraded glass cockpit, and new interior. Yeah, talk about the interior. This is what I mean. Yeah, and talk about the cockpit. This is what I mean. That is the cockpit right there. Mhm. Now, the 737 NG comprises the 73s, 600, 700, 800, 900, 900 variants with lengths ranging from 102 to 138 features. We talk about the length, that is what I mean. Yeah, that is what I mean. The length of that particular plane, that is the Nigerian Air Force 001. Right? Now the 737 entered service in 2017, so which means President Buhari's Nigerian Air Force, or the Eagle One, is on the particular, what can I say? It's the latest, one of the latest airplanes that the Nigerian president is totally flying in, right? So when you look at the assembly of the 737, it was performed at the Boeing Renton factory in Renton, Washington. Many 737s served markets previously filled by the 707, 727, the 757, DC-9, and so on. So, one may wonder if you've been wondering if your president is safe in Nigeria as he's flying out. The only thing he can tell you is safe, and he has to say a goodbye to you each and every time because he's 100% 360 safe. Then it's the business is my name. Click subscribe to Africa Social TV.